My name is Torrey Holloway. My name is Torrey Holloway.
I had wanted to talk to you about this interview.
So you want to do Thursday like 11?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Thursday at 11 be perfect then. You ever been so high in silence and you can hear your heartbeat? Doodle, 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 doodle. And you just like me. Breathe how I breathe. Seen what I seen. And you just like me. I can hear your heartbeat. 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 Reaching for the sky.
Welcome back. My name is Torrey Holloway. This is on Road to Success. If this your first time watching, you know what I mean, you got to catch up, man. Cause man, I got some like good interviews. You know what I mean. And right now today, I'm bringing out Atlanta, Patricia Pickett. How you doing today, Miss Pickett?
What's going on by way of Birmingham, Alabama?
Birmingham.
I'm here. Thanks for having me.
For real, for real.
I appreciate it.
Right. It's been a long time, man. We've been really trying to reach out to you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I know you've been busy. You know what I mean?
Yes. We made it work though, so that's the good part about it.
Oh yeah, we here now. We here. You know what I mean? So tell me a little bit about yourself though.
Well, it's so hard to figure out where to start because I've been in this industry for so long. Working in entertainment for about 25 years. Straight out of high school, I started out as a professional model doing a lot of runway fashion shows.
Okay.
Then I used to like go to clubs and it would be, you know how it's always one girl that could dance and everybody crowded around looking at the girl that could dance real good.
Right.
I used to build up a crowd with dancing, you know. So it used to be this guy's name was Will, and we go out and make up dance routines, and so people would be watching us. We'd be like battle dancing.
Right, yeah.
And one night we got recruited for this rap group. This guy came out, was like, "Hey, I've been watching y'all." His name was Supreme, and he had a rap group. It's called Big Mall and Supreme. He was like, "Yo, you know, we finna start touring, doing some shows. You know, do you and your homie want to come and audition? We got a choreographer. It's gonna be real good and real clean." Wow. And we were kind of like, okay, because we don't do choreography dance steps. We was normally like doing our own thing.
Yeah. So you was like what, the leader of the dance?
Yeah, you know. So we went to the audition, and it was really good. I met the choreographer who I'm now, although 22 years ago, I'm married to, not going on 19 years in May.
Wow, and congratulations. All right, that's big.
Thank you.
Wow.
So we took our friendship over the years and started, I had a modeling agency called South Models, and the same guy who I worked with, his name was Kevin Key. He had a company called Moon Man DJs, right? So it was a DJ company that had female models, promo models, and then we had off the chain management. We had a dance company. We had a couple of girls that were modeling. And we were like, you know, let's start a modeling agency because you had a lot of agencies from New York, Miami.
Wow.
We started a company called the South Models because a lot of people weren't giving models in the South a lot of great opportunities. You know, you were looking for the ambiguous looking girls with the long hair,
right.
mix. Every time we would come to Atlanta, they'd be like, dang, y'all really got some hot girls in Birmingham, you know. So we started the modeling agency together. Mm-hmm. And our first break, honestly, was probably one of those clips you may have saw was Puff Daddy had just started making a band. So they were touring in Birmingham. I don't know, I must have just got on the phone, called some people at BET and was like, yo, you know, our models are gonna be in town, you know, they get backstage and we wanna meet the band.
Right.
And Lord and behold, it worked out. The manager at the time was like, yo, the South Models here, they wanna take a picture with the band, and all the girls walked in. And then I walked in, shook hands, and I can always remember Chopper talking about how cute the girls were. They so pretty, and it was a variety of girls, dark skin, light skin.
Right, okay.
We had a girl from Russia, and so I forget about it, because when you're filming reality TV shows, you know, you don't hear nothing else about it. Then all of a sudden, my phone started ringing one morning at like Saturday morning. It was just blowing up, just text after text. I'm like, what's going on? They was like, yo, y'all were just on Making a Bacon. So they ended up keeping our clip. Like Diddy did some talking, and next thing you know, they showed the tour date, and Chopper like, oh, those girls look fly, and you see me come in, and you see all the girls come in. At the time, I probably had MySpace. It was flooded from models all over the country. Like, we want to model with you. Like, that one moment that we thought was just candid behind the scenes actually ended up stamping the name South Models. We started getting rapper songs. The girls started getting casted for a lot of music videos, which, you know, I was really particular as the CEO of a company, consulting with Dez and Kevin, like, yo, we don't want to get into all just the big booty stuff, because that's all you will get. So we tried, hey, we want our girls to be leading roles, and we want them to be the main characters in these videos. I mean, I can remember at one point we had a girl who was on like 7 out of 10 videos on the countdown. They was like, we have to retire her because she's in so many videos. And of course, we did do urban modeling, but when we did it, we made it work to where our model shot what they wanted to shoot when they were comfortable with that. And then it went from, you know, having social media just kind of took over where anybody could be a model. You know, I'm not taking away from promo models, but we would have brands that we would be representing. You know, you could go to Walmart and you'll see a girl working, hey, want to buy this product. Or we could be at a party and there'll be the Jack Daniel girls. It just got to a point where anybody could model. We were no longer getting paid good money for it. And it was just getting girls who want to wear a t-shirt for free. And it just wasn't working. It wasn't making any sense that anybody could gravitate to get into the industry. You know, and artists will tell you they feel the same way. Now everything is about streaming and TikTokers and YouTubers. Back in the day, we made lots of money. You could ask any director, Chris Robinson, or just any director will tell you they had $100,000 budgets for music videos. We shot some $100,000 budget videos, and our models would be making $1,000 a day, $3,000 a day. Being taken care of, paid professionally, and now it's like $100 for 8 hours.
I tried to told y'all, if you ain't know, this road to success, state to state with this shut down.
I'm serious. Get checked out. I don't care what you think. Go to the doctor today. Get checked out, man, because I found out my cholesterol higher than borderline, over borderline.
Yeah, I know, man. It's like, you know, as time changed, you know what I mean? It's like if you ain't independent, you really ain't finna do nothing. Right? You know what I mean?
It's really hard. So we, from having the agency, we kind of went back into more of Off the Chain Management LLC. With that company, we kind of specialize in event planning. We work with a lot of corporate companies and HBCU colleges. And then, you know, people just call us when they want to book an artist, because we've worked with so many artists over the years. We gravitated to the management team and the agents that they work with. And out of the blue, somebody's like, hey, we want to book Common. I'm like, okay, I can do that. You know, on the phone, politic with the right people. And they say, you know, Common's performing a concert. Yeah, so we just did Carl Thomas for Magic City Classic. I can't think of an artist that we can't book, because I feel like I'm able to do whatever, you know, you put the mind to that you want me to do. I'm going to do it. We're going to make it happen. My husband is always more so the backstage manager with the concert. So he works with the artists. He does their sound checks, make sure that everything they need is great. We handle hospitality. And so 2020 was kind of rough. But we were blessed because we went into virtual performances. So it even got to a point where we didn't even have to leave home for some of the shows that we were booking. And things are starting to pick back up now. So we are Off the Chain Management LLC. We branded that because people kept saying, man, y'all, you being so off the chain, man. Y'all just an off the chain couple. Y'all just off the chain. It's like, for real. Y'all be off the chain. We've thought about changing it for a long time to have that brand.
Perfect, you know what I mean?
I know.
It's perfect.
But
you know what I mean?
now people know it. It's been a bunch of songs too. So it's just like, our brand is Celebrity Talent Bookings. I will work as agents for some artists and talent. And if people want us to plan an event for them, surely they can contract us out for that. So that's kind of who we are and what we do.
So when you say first-time artist, you mean like somebody that's trying to get in the industry, you know what I mean? They can come to you and you can make things happen?
Well, when I say first-time artist, I mean if an artist has established themselves already and they're already working, they have concert footage, and they feel like people are wanting to book them, we can add them on our talent roster under talent we have booked. So if clients come to us, like say somebody do come to us and want to book, I don't know, Young Jock, and they see that we've booked him before, they may go through us because they can't find a contact in order to book him. Then they may see another talent on the website, like, oh, we didn't know you worked with this person, I could book that person too. So a newly established artist, we kind of stepped out of the role of management of talent. Now we did that for nearly 10 years.
Yeah, for a while, right?
It's a lot of work when you manage artists. It's a lot of work when you manage any type of talent, because you're the sole responsible person that's helping build their team. You are the PR, you are the agent, you are the manager, you are the friend. Like, you're everything that it takes to build this talent out. And when work slows down, they look to you like, hey, I'm not working, where's my money? Unless you get like a team player, like we managed DJ Tracy still, now it's going on 8 years. Recently, the last 2 years, we became agent work because we just couldn't travel as much as we were. But the relationship still work. We still make money together. So yeah, it just kind of depends. I think any new artist is different out here. They need to make a name for themselves that people can seek you. That's kind of what the industry, before it wasn't like that. Where they had album sales and people were buying CDs. That mattered how you promote. Now it's either a TikToker making your song famous, or you got somebody on the hook like Drake that made your song go great, and from there you have to capitalize on it. The industry has changed. It's not as easy to jump into as it used to be. So you got to really make sure that you're on the social media side of things to make something pop, so that labels can come to you and you not have to come to them.
Right. I interviewed a couple artists, you know what I mean, that's on tour right now, you know what I mean. Like one guy, not no disrespect to the people that I interviewed, but I'm gonna talk about this dude named Omeezy Miles.
Okay.
He got a nice background, you know what I mean. People's following him like daily, you know what I mean.
Good.
Asking when he gonna come to their town and stuff like that, So yeah, he trying to do something. I see him out there, like thousands of views, you know what I mean.
Wow.
Yeah, he's doing real good. So
Yeah, I guess in a situation like that, when there are artists, if the artist is getting so many booking requests that it's like, I can't handle that, I'd rather somebody handle and negotiate on my behalf. It'd be something we'd look into. We just have to see we'll do our research and figure it out, and then from there, if they trust us to handle everything, and then just send it over to us. Like, that's what some of our clients do.
Right.
They just don't want to handle everything themselves. It's hard to negotiate for yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if our client get a booking from a client that wants to book them for a weekend, then they'll send it over to me. I'll look at it and say, okay, send me date, time, location. What's your budget? Okay, this is what you can get for that amount. This is how much it is for an all-in deal. And we close the deal out. So we could close deals. We just don't want to be the responsible party finding a artist or a talent the work, because we don't have the time to do that anymore. Yeah.
I can imagine. So you live in Atlanta now, right?
Yes, we moved from Birmingham in 2013, so we've been here since 2013.
Okay,
yeah.
I got you. Okay. So and you say you didn't go to college for this? It's just something you just.
Yeah, people think I went to school and got a business degree. I do have a college degree. I went to University of Alabama in Birmingham and studied social psychology and criminal justice. So I have a degree in social psychology. And half of the world don't know that I work part-time as a substance abuse counselor. It's just not much that's spoke of for me, because that's me doing my community service and getting back and giving back to the community, because I just love it so much. I feel like it's a part-time job. If I really wanted to pursue entertainment full-time, I've been offered a lot of gigs and could have taken them. But something has not allowed me to walk away from saving lives. So yes, I do that 3 days a week, and I have a job that's flexible. I came to them traveling the world, so they let me be off whenever I need to be off. I was recently blessed with a promotion, more of a program manager position, which I like it because, again, it's still the same thing, saving lives. So yes, I work, and that's what my degree is in. But as far as working in business, I don't know. I hear a lot of people say, like, yo, Patricia, you got a God-given talent, man. Like, you know how to talk to people, you respect people, you don't get over on nobody, you know. You and your husband been together all these years. You know, people even talking to us about relationships. And I mean, I feel totally blessed to have met and worked with so many great people. It's different when you're walking around saying, oh, can I get a selfie? And you're just taking pictures with people. But I cherish every relationship that we actually get to meet and work with these clients and try to leave an everlasting impression on them so they come back and work with us again.
Right, yeah, man, that's dope, yeah. So, who and what inspired you, like, to get into the entertainment business?
Honestly, I'd have to say my business partner, my husband. It's him. Because when I got into the industry, now modeling, I was already doing, and booking models, I was already doing, but he taught me the business way of how to handle things and how to be professional, how to not let anybody on your team disrespect you, you know, don't let models sleep with talent, you know, because it kills the relationship and kills the commodity. So you have some people that are starstruck and get in just to get in this video, and just, you know, I don't even trip about loyalty anymore because I learned some things from Carl Thomas about that, and I'll kind of talk about that later. But it's just more so of representing yourself professionally and not letting a relationship cross any boundaries to where you lose respect for you or for the job. And one person represents everybody, you know what I'm saying? So he taught me about that. And he saw something in me with me just talking and negotiating, like, yo, you should do sponsorships, you could do that, you know, you need to book events. And even when it came to managing Tracy, I was like, you sure I should do this? Like, we moving to Atlanta, I'm traveling the world, is this what you want? He was like, yes, this is what we ask God for, you know, just make wise decisions. So I hate to say like the head person in charge, but I seek his advice when it comes to decision making. And he just had a drive of respect that was given that he instilled in me in the entertainment, so I don't let people run over me.
Right. So how long it took you, you know what I mean, to get over that, like that nervous feeling when you start interacting with the artists and stuff?
Let's see.
You ever been so high in silence and you can hear your heartbeat? Doodle, doodle. Doodle, doodle, and you just like me. Just like me. I can hear your heartbeat. 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 Reaching for the skies, trying to bring down tomorrow. Allergic to being broke, never will I borrow. I think something wrong with me, man. Pistol always in my right hand. Can't even sleep at night. Picture getting killed from a deadly fight. We don't even fight no more. Quick to pull a pistol, then aim and shoot. The next day on the late night news, you made history for the whole crew. Give me a minute, let me clear my mind. Put down a 9 and just unwind. Make a phone call to my dog. I compare him off to knock anybody off. If you breathe how I breathe, and you see how I see, then you just like me. I can hear your heartbeat. 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 If you see what I see and breathe how I breathe, then you just like me. And I can hear your heartbeat. I can hear your heartbeat.
Let's see. I feel like I never ever was nervous. I would say the most nervous I've ever been is knowing I would be able to work with Dr. Bill Cosby, because that was like
that's dope. I like that.
That was like, is this real?
Right. Yeah.
So I think for that, I'll tell you my funny moments with him, right? So. You know how when you're young, you're like, if I ever meet somebody, I'm gonna ask these questions.
Right.
So I was asking Dr. Cosby, I have to tell you like my favorite episodes, and I was telling him one of my favorite episodes was when he went shopping. I think Claire was trying to cook for Thanksgiving, and he kept having to leave and come back and leave and come back. And it was so funny because he would be like, yes, that character did this. He was like speaking in second person about the character, me. He was like, Cliff. And I like the one when Vanessa was like ratchet, or when Denise had the guy over, and she was like, I said the N-word. And so I'm laughing about my favorite Cosby episodes with Dr.
Right, yeah, that's amazing.
And so, yeah, I FaceTimed my mom, and she was screaming. He was like, is she okay? I'm like, Mom, don't act like that.
Yeah.
So overall, I would say if I had any nervousness, it was being blessed with the opportunity to work with Dr. Bill Cosby. And then all the artists I've worked with, you just be in artist mode, and it's like I want to make sure the dressing room is everything that this artist asked for. We want their sound checks to be smooth. We want, when we did Frankie Beverly and Maze, they traveled with a team of, I could probably spoke to 50 to 100 and some people in booking them. And they get in town, and they was like, hey, where's Patricia? And I'm like, I am Patricia.
Right.
So it was so funny.
Wow.
Like, you Patricia? And Frankie says, oh, sweetie, I thought you was older than that, baby. Come give me a hug. It was like anybody that could deal with my team, the people, and make it, he was like, you gonna go somewhere far.
Right. Most definitely.
I just think I really pass it over to just being a God-given talent. And I can't tell you that eventually I won't try to go back to school to get, MBA or something like that. So I'm thinking about it. I don't know. It just kind of depends.
Right. Yeah. God bless you, though, to be even where you at right now today. You know what I mean? That's big, though. Real big.
Yeah, it was a long time coming now. Don't get me wrong. It took some time to get where we are. And then you get good people who say, hey, I work with her. I work with their team.
Right.
And I've never had issues or problems with people. I just haven't.
Right. Wow, man. That's big right there, man. That's huge right there. I was going through your site, looking at all these artists that, you know what I mean, and that you hogged up with, that you just being around. It's like, wow, man, that's amazing, man. And and Dex was like, man, you know what I mean. He told me everything, like how cool you was, to know you is really to love you. You know what I mean? Basically, you know what I mean.
Thank you.
Yeah, for real.
I would say being reintroduced to Master P was really big for us, because that's how my husband and I, we first started. Again, he was a choreographer. He was touring with Usher. And we ended up being professional background dancers for C Murder. Nobody would never know that. We toured with them. And so we did the last Essence Festival, and Master P was there. I was like, yo, we used to be on tour with your brother. And it was like, he was like, wow, like I could tell you I was telling him some stuff that only I would know, and he would know.
Right.
He was like, yeah, that was like the OP, that was the OP. So I think that was kind of cool. Like you end up getting back working with people that you idolize and wanted to be like. I like Master P's drive. I love everything about him and Black ownership business. When he's trying to teach us as Blacks to invest in ourselves, work for ourselves, create our own branding instead of blowing up somebody else's brand.
Yeah, for real.
So I really working with him was really cool. And like I said, I think Dr. Cosby was my highlight. I really enjoyed booking Common. I thought that was pretty dope most recently. And we're working on a lot of new opportunities, some shows that we're going to be booking in the future. So. Wow,
that's good. So basically, you kind of fell into that, though. You know what I mean? By meeting.
Yeah, we did. We did. I say fell into it because when I was modeling, I would show up for a booking and not get paid. Or I'll be on a shoot with a photographer and he'll shoot me in ways that made me feel uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Or I'll work this promotion and get $40 an hour when the client was paid $70 an hour. And I really was asking God one night, why is this happening to me? Right. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. I'm showing up, I'm working, and the promoter can't be found when it's time for me to get my check. God was like, start your own company and do right by people. Everything people did bad to you, you do good, and I'm gonna bless you. And honestly, that's what my husband and I have lived by all of these years, over 20 years in this industry. We lived our lives and booked talent and booked artists and represented artists and managed them, thinking that let's do right by them. And that's why I think we've been so successful thus far. It's just, we keep God first and we don't mess over nobody. Like, there's no need. There's enough money out there for everybody. Somebody's always going behind chicken a book being made. So why would you take still from someone when y'all built the team together? So I think a lot of it came from, representing people the right way.
Right. So have you had like any issues like with people's not showing up, like artists is not showing up for stuff that you book?
So this wasn't my show particularly, but it was a show I was working on. We had DJ Khaled, like right when he was really hot. This was like We the Best was all over the place. Okay. And we had promoted, we had spent money on billboards, like they really had gone all out for this concert. And the day before, he had what I'm being told was some surgery in his mouth.
Oh, okay.
And not able to come, and he sent T-Pain in his place, which was fine. I think Alabama, sometimes when they're looking at artists, they had something in mind. They wanted Khaled because he was from out of a certain place. He was hot right then.
Right.
So they're looking at T-Pain, like just staring at him.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's T-Pain. And T-Pain is like, yo, like, why people staring at me? I'm like, yo, that's because they at all. Because they're just not used to seeing certain artists. And then R. Kelly canceled on a concert. R. Kelly doesn't like to fly. A lot of people don't know that. He drives everywhere, or he has tour buses everywhere. So we had an issue in Houston where his concert was promoted like crazy, like a post-concert after a game. They had to refund a lot of people money for that. So those were the only two cancellations that I kind of know, and they had situations behind them. So it's not like the artist was like, I'm just not going to show up. It was bits and pieces.
Yeah. I mean, that's what counts. That's matters. So let me ask you something, Ms. Pickett. Like, what advice can you provide, like, to the up and coming artists? You know what I mean? I know, like you said, you've been in the game for like 20 years, so the changes now. It ain't like the old ways now. You know what I mean? So a lot of people just get out here, call themselves making music, but they ain't promoting it right. You know what I mean? They don't know what steps to make.
I think writing is one important thing because you have more ownership in your music. So if you write instead of allowing somebody to write for you, I think it's imperative to build relationships with, you got to get out and network. And I learned that the hard way because I don't like going anywhere. But I realized in Atlanta, they will overlook your butt if you don't get out there. So that's how I started learning how to get out and work a room. Hey, what's up? My name is Patricia. What do you do? This is what I do. I don't care if you was like a little roach on the wall and I thought you was a nobody. Hey, Roach, how you doing? What's your name? Who you work for? Because you never know what kind of relationship that could turn into. So I would say ultimately going out to events that you see yourself performing at, building a relationship with producers who have relationships already with record labels. So if you produce with this person who's already a well-known producer, then there's a chance that your music could get heard by somebody great. I just feel like you said, it's the world has changed now, so you got to get someone with a tight hook. You got to get a TikToker to come up with a dance to your chorus of your song. Team up with them because that's what they're doing naturally right now. I can think about Junebug. There's this Bottom Got Him, I guess, if I'm saying his name right, the whole June, but like that became popular. He helped the artists get popular. Same thing with Runner Track Star. I'm just trying to think about a lot of songs that are having these challenges now. And we didn't know the artists at the time. We're doing the challenge, and later on you figure out, oh, that's who this person is. So I think it's the wave. And you have to ride with the wave. I don't like change, and when you don't like change, you get left behind. I was late with getting Instagram. I was like, I don't want another social media page. I don't want Twitter. I can't even remember all the passwords. Right.
Wow.
But I had to do it, and a lot of business I got, believe it or not, came from somebody sending me a message on Instagram, or I'm able to get in contact with a talent from Instagram. So it's just the way of the world and how it's changing. So it's networking, If you see a record label is having something, go to it and try to obtain as many contacts as possible.
Right.
You know, making sure your music is mixed and mastered. It sounds great. Anybody handing off CDs no more than people. You know, you gotta have links. And again, building relationships with radio personalities so they can play your music. The VJs, program directors at radio stations. Just, it's all about who you know. That's kind of what this industry has always been. You don't know anybody. And I'm actually transparent enough to say it changes. We've had an ongoing relationship with BET for almost 10 years. We always went for Spring Bling. We hosted some shows with 50 Cent.
Right.
We did a lot of shows, and then a lot of the older people who worked there were let go or furloughed, or they could have just retired, and then they bring in, when they had the younger people come in, Roxy and Terrence J, that it changed a lot. I couldn't just up and call somebody like I used to, you know. There's about 5 people that do still work for BET that's been there for like 20 years, but a lot of relationships changed. Like one of the ladies I called, she said, "Oh, you know, I work for Tyler Perry now." I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, let's go do that."
Right, yeah,
So
most
people
definitely.
change. So if you don't network, you're gonna be calling a bunch of numbers that aren't working anymore. Or I think we saw Stephen Hill not too long ago at an event, and I had his old BT card. He was like, "Whoa, that's old." So I think it's just building relationships, and you got to pay to play. You have to invest in yourself. You know, a lot of people think it's going to be handed to you. This is the least likely that something's going to be handed to you. Now you really got to earn it as an artist. You need to just study your craft, perform at shows you feel like you can. Practice every day. Practice makes perfect. You should be at home right now when you get done in the booth practicing, or setting up what your 30-minute set would actually look like. You know, get you a DJ, get you a live band aspect to it in case you don't want to have the whole track performance. So it's just getting you and your entire brand 100% together before you go out there. Because once you go out there, that's it. It's, do you have what it takes now
for real.
to last?
Straight up. So like, will you see yourself at like 5 years from now still doing the same thing or growing bigger or what?
You know, in the industry that I work in professionally, I think I want to own my own clinic, get grants and things to help people get off drugs. So I'm leaning that way from a professional residual income place. In the entertainment industry, I don't know, sometimes I kind of see myself as one of the dopest female agents in the industry. Like, when I can remember seeing 3 agents that I looked up to, that every time I go to these events, it's the same women booking these artists, and they have they're not even working, they're just showing up. And the artists are showing up, dapping them up like, "What's up?" And your name means something. I kind of see myself if I get to continue booking artists and book bigger and bigger artists, you know, that I'll be in a room and people know, "Oh, that's Patricia," you know. Or if I want to book somebody, the relationship is respected. You feel where I'm coming from? Like, I remember her. She was so great at what she did. Yeah, you should work with her. So that feels good to me. And then getting event planning contracts mean a lot. You know, I'm working with a client now. The client is Mocha Fest, and they do a lot of festivals, destination festivals. And so we're working on a super weekend here, Atlanta Super Weekend. So that's taking a lot of time to work to plan these 4 to 5 events for them, and them entrusting in me to be on the grounds in Atlanta doing the job. Another one of my clients is doing the Winter Games 2022, which is huge. That's Olympics. Like, that is a whole nother level. So like waiting on your phone call, like, "Patricia, I need you to do this." So I just think continuing to get the kind of work that I want to do. I turn down what I don't like, and to be able to say, "Hey, no, I don't want to do this," or "I want to refer the job to somebody else," that makes me feel good. So in 5 years, I'm hoping that I get to continue to book artists. I'm hoping I get to have my own business, you know, Dr. Pickett maybe. And then I'm also, my husband and I sit on the board of a company, a nonprofit called Man in Action. And our friend, business partner, Gerard, he feeds the homeless in Birmingham every Sunday and has been doing it. Yes, Gerard Morgan. I'll send you over his contact information. He feeds the homeless every Sunday, and he has been doing it for about 3 years, and all out of his own pocket. So it means something to me when you're doing that. So we were able to link him up with, I don't know if you can see my shirt, Black Voters Matter. And when they were getting people registered to vote in Birmingham, they had all this food and fruit and free trucks, and we booked Bobby Valentino performed, and they had a bunch of food left over, which people normally throw stuff away. I was like, yo, let's take this over to Man in Action and link them up. They gave him 2 vans full of fruit. We were able to feed the homeless. And then I think after that, they ended up providing like a box of masks for him to give out. So sitting on that board, we're trying to really, I'm trying to bring to them entertainment, because I feel like they need entertainment too. So once a month we do something for them. And we're trying to build out ways to raise money to be able to continue, the journey of feeding the homeless, and then figuring out, why are they homeless? What can we do to get them back on their feet? Yeah. So yeah, being able to give back, that's also what I see in my future is like. And then my kids, we have 2 kids, they're 14, 15, and 12. And we're teaching them at a young age, like how to be young entrepreneurs. What is your business going to be? What are you going to invest your money in? Because at the end of the day, this thing is about investing and leaving something for our children, that you own something and not crying and, collecting money for this. Like, we need to be able to know what it takes to be successful. That's investing in stocks and bonds. That's having life insurance policies. So if something happens, because anything can happen, look at the society that we're living in. And leaving something, generational wealth. That's what I'm looking at.
Definitely, yeah, you know what I mean. I'm a single parent, and I be teaching I was a single parent. I'm married now, but I was teaching my son the same thing. I had him ever since he was 2 years old, and he started his first high school football game next week. You know what I mean? So, we've been working hard on to this day here, so yeah.
That's amazing. I mean, just think about things. I'm pretty sure you were involved in sports. I played basketball. I ran track. I played volleyball. Cool. My husband was in a band, and it's like my son took after him. He be on those drums, He plays video games, but they've been calling us to try to get him to get paid by PlayStation. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So we think education comes first. They both play basketball. My daughter, she plays basketball. She plays volleyball. She's really good, and it's like we are looking at ourselves in them.
Right, you're right. Most definitely, yeah.
And then we're trying to teach them the way of the world, because these kids, our children now, are subject to something way different. Right. With Snapchat, social media, drugs. I mean, it's sex. They're taught about all this stuff at a young age. So that's a whole nother journey, just in parenting alone in this entertainment industry. My husband will tell you all the time, I'm not missing anything that when it comes to my kids. A lot of what we did in the beginning of what we were doing, I'd be the one on the road and he would be the one at home making sure that they're good, because he don't play about his kids. It could be, hey, you could go to Houston and book this Clark Sisters concert, or Desmond has a game. He's gonna be like, I gotta manage my son's game.
For real, most definitely,
So parenting, and because you can't get the time back. I hate there was a lot of things that I missed out on with my kids when they were young, when I was traveling and out of the country and things. But now I have more charge of what I'm able to do.
That's good. That's real good. That's real good. So as an author, I know, do you read?
I don't know where author came from, but I'm not an author. I read spiritual books. I think it's more so that Tracy was an author. So we were promoting and marketing her book, 30-Day Man Clan. So the only author in and around me is Tracy Steele.
Okay. I got you.
What I can tell you is that she was inspired to write a book in 30 days, and she did just that. She wrote it in 30 days.
And her name, Tracy Morgan?
Tracy Steele, Traci Steele.
Okay.
Steele, former cast member from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. She wrote the book in 30 days. She self-published the book. She got her a PR. They helped, do a bunch of TV interviews. So I just say, if you're inspired to do something, do it. I have ideas I've set on that are still in my safe from 10 years ago. Like, I'm going to do this, and then end up not doing it. I started writing a book and quit. Started writing a movie and quit. I was say, don't be like that, man. The
Right.
sky is the limit.
That's it.
You know,
For real.
and we have to make ourselves focus on us. Okay, you could be busy helping other people all day, they getting their money, right? You got to get your own money. So as an author, write, self-publish. It doesn't hurt to just start. You don't know unless you do it.
Right,
this is even talking to you about that is encouraging me to finish writing my book. I had a book that I was writing about COVID-19 that I did not finish.
Okay.
I kind of wrote like what I want this book to look like, then my own life story, and then my husband and I, like you said, in the industry of like 20-some years, we have seen a lot of stuff.
I can imagine.
A lot. The ups and downs of entertainment. So we've been writing somewhat of a script of our life that we're hoping to entertain with Netflix to maybe have some type of series in the future.
Right. You got any connections with Netflix?
So when you say connections, I'll say I know people that work there, but I can't say I can just pick up the phone and call and be like, hey, what's up? It's all about who you know, or I know someone that know them that can hopefully get us where we need to be. But you got to have the right product before you make the approach.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
When that's going to be.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely. I mean, like I said, I'm an author too. You know that, right? I done wrote like 5 books myself, and like.
And how did it go? How's everything going?
It's my plaque I got for my newest book, and
I'm zooming in so I can see.
This book here is it was released in 2020, and it was about apocalypse in the world. And how about when the book came out, the coronavirus hit like 2 weeks later. And you know what I mean?
Wow.
And and my book, it really did some numbers like in the beginning of 2020. You know what I mean?
So you might have to help me then.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And this right here was my first book right here. Fast Cash. This was my #1 bestseller right here. And I written this back in like 2014 when I got this published. You know what I mean?
So you self-published?
Yeah. Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, going in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come on with the motivation.
Oh yeah, most definitely. You know what I mean? So I done written 5 books, but this is my biggest one. It's like when I finished this one, like everybody was like, "Yo, what's that about? What's that about?" That's the coronavirus. I'm like, no, it's another story, but it's still an apocalypse. You know what I mean?
I want a copy of that book.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah, I'm in stores too. I'm in Barnes and Nobles and everything.
What is this book about?
It's about it's about a guy and his son. You know what I mean? It was a meteor that hit the Pacific and caused the radiation around the whole world. Well, through the radiation, some people are immune to it and some not. You know what I mean? And it caused the whole sky to be orange. So as it was coming towards America, they realized, people's dying from this. You know what I mean? But when it hit to where this guy at and his son, they both was immune to it. But on his mind, he was thinking about his mom and stuff like that. So he wanted to go check on his mom, which was in Georgia. So you know what I mean? And by the system and stuff being shut down, you know, the martial laws and stuff try to take people to the FEMA camps and all that. He didn't want to go for that. He wanted to make his way to see his mom. So by all means necessary, he grabbed his son and, went for that direction. You know what I mean?
Oh, you just wrote this book?
Oh yeah, most definitely, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I wrote that back in 2019, not knowing nothing about the coronavirus. And then when I hit that, you know what I mean, and they was talking about, about Wuhan, you know what I mean? I'm like, and they were like, man, they was calling me a prophet. I'm like, I ain't have no idea of that, you know what I mean? So,
receive it.
Yeah. So I get all kind of messages and all that they're telling me about it, yeah.
Well, that is very inspiring, and I need to stop sitting on the books that I've started.
And get back to it, right?
Yeah. It's deep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And right now, like I said, we're working on a film too, called The Bag too, is dealing with my son too. So that's why I'm trying to get all my, my ducks and stuff in a row once I finish that.
Get it lined up.
Yeah, what moves to make. Yeah. Most definitely.
Yeah, we could kind of refer you to a few companies that we know shop deals if we can't walk straight into deals. But that'd be cool. Yeah,
that'd be dope. Yeah. So I know you probably have a busy day today or whatever, you know what I mean? Do you have like any questions for me or anything?
Just for you, not really questions, more so word of advice, which is just to keep pushing in the direction you're going into.
Right.
I think I said I was going to share my conversation I had with Carl Thomas.
Right.
Yeah. We were on a show booking or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about entertainment, and loyalty came up and what loyalty means. And I'm like, yeah, I've had so many people that weren't loyal to me. They were behind my back and did this and blah, blah, blah. He was like, I know you might not take this the right way, but you can't expect loyalty from anyone. He said you only expect loyalty from your immediate family, your husband, your kids, maybe even your parents. But outside of that, don't expect loyalty. Your problem is that you're expecting loyalty from a person who doesn't know you. And I thought to myself, whoa. He was like, so what if they get the contact information? People out here to network. They don't owe you anything. Right. They're out here trying to push to their dreams and their goals. So if getting that number behind your back took them closer to their goals, nothing's wrong with that. And he was like, all the people that you're mad at, do they know you mad at them? Do they know you felt that way?
Right.
I said, whoa, I was checked in that moment. And I thought every time I see him, I was with him 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's like, man, you really blessed me with that word. He was like, how you feeling with it? I'm like, it changed my perspective.
Right, most definitely.
In life, I'm not expected for anybody to be loyal to me. Right. So you have to realize loyalty resides with your wife and your son. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's it. And then your expectations are not shattered when a person go behind your back and do something. At the end of the day, what's meant for you is meant for you. So I would just say continue to work with your podcast, work on your movie, writing your books. Don't let anything take you away from that. I think you're onto something really good and positive. Be patient, because God works when He wants to work, not when we want Him to work. Right. So it was more so just advice for you to keep pushing towards the goals and things that you have. Shout out to Dex, because he's always making things pop.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
And just anybody that watches this, my whole thing is like, just don't give up on what your dreams are, and don't live through other people's dreams. The more we stand on social media doing this, looking at somebody else who already getting paid, that's the time we need to be putting into our own businesses, building wealth for our family. So it's just like, you can do it. Like any and everything that you want to do, keep trying. If you don't fail, there's a problem. I mean, how you know how to make yourself better? Right. So for me, it's just anybody who actually tuned into the podcast, don't give up. Like, you can do this.
I remember like when I first started writing Fast Cash, I was writing in a journal. You know what I mean? And I remember I used to walk around with that journal every single day.
Everywhere.
And everybody used to look at me and be like, the ones that know me, like, man, why you walking around with that book in your hand? I said, man, I'm writing a story. They used to be like, man, that's stupid, man. Put that down. You don't want to do that. That's stupid. And in my mind, at that time, I was thinking like, dang, do I look retarded doing this stuff? You know what I mean? And I actually put it down. You know what I mean? And I kept going, and then another person, came to me and said, why you start carrying that journal with you? I said, man, I was looking crazy with that journal. I thought you was writing a story. I said, I was. He said, man, don't let nobody stop you from doing what you're doing, man. That can pay off. And you know what I mean? And I took his advice, talked to my mom, you know what I mean? She was like, yeah, don't never let nobody stop you. So I picked it up, you know what I mean? And I finished writing in 2014, like around about March. So I say it became a bestseller. I think it was before the end of that year. I'm gonna say like around about November, December. Yeah, it was making good numbers.
And you almost gave it a.
Yeah. I put it down a lot of times. Yeah.
Yeah, be careful. Like I tell you, who be in your circle too. I think after the pandemic, we were really sick. My entire family was sick. I was in and out of 11, 12, 13 hospitals. My husband was in the hospital for 7 days. My children had COVID. Oh, man. And it will mentally mess you up. Like seriously, you have to find a way to get back focused, because after the pandemic, then you have police brutality. After that, and it's just a circle. Like I just got up, my daughter like, Mom, it was another shooting. I'm like, what? Are you kidding? One different from the one they just had yesterday. So even not being caught up in worldly stuff, because it will mess you up. So we just try to stay rooted in the Word of God. And I thank God every day that I'm alive. Like I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, I'm living. We beat COVID.
Yeah,
Okay, we woke up this morning. We're right here, right now, and there's a lot of people who didn't get to do that. So just being blessed that every day we wake up, we are still here to do God's work.
Right, most definitely. Yeah, I lost my cousin to COVID out of Birmingham, Alabama.
I lost a cousin too in Birmingham. Yeah, her name was Regina Gresham. My cousin. We both were sick at the same time at the hospital at the same time. And she didn't make it. And honestly, to have to deal with that, I couldn't go to the funeral. And we first cousins, we all like this, right?
Yeah,
so
close,
I still struggle with that today. Like my cousin mailed me an obituary, and I have yet to open it because I don't feel ready to connect in that way.
Right.
I'm thankful that I get to remember her the last way I saw her. But that's going to always be something tough, losing a family member to COVID-19. I think we all know somebody, if we didn't have it ourselves, know somebody who did it or just felt connected with it, Even with the vaccine, we lining up for it because you had to wait after having COVID a certain number of days. I'm still skeptical of it. Also, I'm looking. I'm be optimistic, but I'm also gonna make sure I make a good decision when it comes to that.
And with me, with that, I thought I had my mask on my neck, but I'm talking about since they saying it's a trial vaccine. Basically, you can't do nothing about it if something happened to you. Because a lot of people done passed away after taking that shot, too. You know what I mean?
And a lot of people have gotten COVID after
having it. Exactly. They say still wear a mask. I'm like, hold on. You want me to get the shot and still protect myself? You know what I mean? So I said, I'd just rather protect myself and not get this shot right now since it's a trial because ain't no way you can be able to fight.
And now you need a booster shot. Which they didn't know in the beginning. So I'm not knocking anybody who gets it or promote and talk about it. I am just going to make the decision what's best for me at the time and when I'm ready. That's kind of where I'm at with that. But most of this goes back to we're alive and we need to really take advantage. My signature and my email is live every day like it's your last day.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Well, you know what I mean? Like I said, I've been waiting for years to talk to you,
I'm in shock that it's been years.
It's been what? Every bit of 3-4 years now?
I know you was waiting since last year when I had COVID. I was like, let me bring myself around.
I think, I'm going to tell you the first time. The first time was back in 2014 when Fast Cash first dropped. Dex reached out to you. Yeah, he reached out to you. Yeah, way back
what
then.
Happened?
You was telling me to finish the book. Because I was writing. You was like, finish the book. And when I finished the book, for us to come, get in touch with you. And you'll see what we can do from there. That's what it was.
At least I said some good stuff.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, it's been a while.
Well, Dexter stayed in contact with me the entire time. I don't know, for the pandemic, that was about 8 months away from doing any and everything. And like I said, you're my first person after getting back on my feet to actually doing a podcast or interview with.
Wow, that's big.
So you got me back warm, going to get back into it. And again, I'm truly motivated about becoming an author. So thank you for those encouraging words. I'm gonna follow up.
Most definitely.
Let you know how I'm doing with my book.
Right, cool. Because I try to do everything, you know what I mean? I'm trying you only live once. I try to take advantage of it, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
For real. Well, you know what I mean? Like I said, I'm going to let you get on with your day. And I want to thank you very much for doing this.
You're welcome.
You know what I mean?
I'm always here. You can call me anytime.
Most definitely.
I'll do another interview.
Okay, then. Yeah, we'll catch up then. Look. When you start writing, I ain't gonna say if you already started or whatever, but when you start or whatever, let me know.
I will.
And then, you know what I mean?
Keep checking on me and holding me accountable too,
here
right?
Here and there, I'm gonna check on you and be like, yo, chapter what? Question mark. Chapter what? Question mark.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll do that, all right?
I'll hold you to that.
All right, Miss Patricia. All right, you take care of yourself now.
All right, thanks for having me.
All right, God bless, man.
God bless. Talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye.
Pressure. Just a little more pressure. Can't have it low. Gotta release the pressure. Release the pressure. Release the pressure. Release the pressure. Just like me. I can hear your heartbeat. I can hear your heartbeat. You're just like me. I can hear your heartbeat. I can hear your heartbeat. I can hear your heartbeat. You're just like me. your heartbeat.